Hi, I'm Henry Kwan, and I'm the user experience designer assigned to improve the user experience of Meetup.com. For those uninitiated, Meetup.com is a social media app and website designed to connect people with like-minded interests through real-life events. Now, not only is it great for socializing, it's also very good for people wanting to partake in new interests and also networking their career, and it's free to use. So my hunch revolves around the Meetup app in particular, and it revolves around its search function, which is screenshotted here. And the hunch is that the search function does not have sufficient search criteria to give users a satisfying experience. Initially, I've completed some desktop research, and you can see these 1 to 2 star reviews actually complaining about the search function. Additionally, I've also found this chart from g2.com being a ease of use chart for the social networking platforms, and Meetup is all the way down the bottom there at number 8, which indicates there is some sort of problem. So the first step after completing the desktop research would be interviewing the actual users. So here we've interviewed 5 users, and we've asked them about their searching habits. How do they search for groups and events, and what is important to them, among other questions. What's great about user research and user interviewing is that not only can you validate your hunch, you can also gain a whole lot of valuable user insights. You can see here in this affinity map that there were many insights gained from interviewing these 5 users. We will only concentrate on the top 3. So overwhelmingly, a lot of the users expressed that they valued attending events with high attendance numbers, and also being part of groups with a lot of active events. So those seem to be the 2 most important things which users expressed, and accordingly we would encapsulate that through filters with these criteria. So this would be our recommendation, incorporating a filter for last active event and event attendees. The second insight was there was discussion of quality events and a good event, and this led me to conclude that perhaps there could be some sort of rating or review system to measure quality, and then incorporate that into the infrastructure of the website or app. The third insight was we've had some users express frustration that there's no way to actually filter in a search for paid events, and that makes it very difficult. Again, the according solution would be to encapsulate that in a filter, which would be form our recommendation based on that insight. So the next stage, we go into the process of ideation, which is coming up with a large number of ideas quickly. And the easiest way to do this is sketching. And you can see here in this sketch, we have 8 ideas, some of which are the previously mentioned recommendations, such as the filter for the paid events here, and the review scoring here. And we've also got ideas such as a location map and a Facebook style chat box. Ideation also involves storyboarding, which is taking one of the proposed solutions and then illustrating the user journey. And we have here quite a simple storyboard, which is self-evident. We've got a user using the attendee search filter and then consequently attending a event where there's a lot of people. So that's one proposed journey for a user. So we've got a whole number of solutions here, and we need to know which of them do we move forward with. And the question is, how do we do that? The answer is the desirability, feasibility, and viability framework. When filtered through this framework, the only proposed solution which passes on all criteria is the active events and number of attendees filter. Okay, so in other words, the users want these filters, we can easily implement it, and there is sustainability for these filters in the future usage of the app and website. The same can't be said for the submission of reviews or the paid events. Okay, so we've decided that we're going to go through with this particular proposed solution. And the next step is prototyping. So here we have a paper prototyping with, in particular here, screen 4, which is an early version of the filters, which is done in the form of an input box or a slider. And this is the prototype that we used during our user testing. So we complete our user testing, and here is a Miro synthesis map of the 5 users and their various comments. So we've synthesized the comments which they've given us. And the positive thing about user testing is that we can get real-time feedback to improve any aspect of the solution. So in this example, we have the last active event filter, which is these input boxes here. After general consensus from the users, it was concluded that a predefined list such as this is a much more user-friendly way to implement it. So accordingly, we made this change. So now I'll just turn it over to my past self to demonstrate the mid-fi prototype that we've developed. Hello, this is Henry. I'm demonstrating the Meetup prototype which we've developed. And this prototype actually greatly resembles the actual Meetup app, even down to the carousels here and these long pages that we have. So this prototype is to be used in 2 user journeys. The first user journey is the search for the group. How we go about doing that is press explore, finding a group we like, and then we have the search results with these filters here. Okay, so the filters that is actually not on the actual app is this last active event filter, which we're proposing to implement. So this is essentially a number of time periods which they click on, apply, and then that would return a result. And then in the actual listing of the group, we have the last event time indicator, which is also a new piece of information. So we go into the group, and to complement the filter, we have this window here showing the last active event. So that's a new piece of information, which is also not in the actual app which we're proposing. So that's the first user journey. If we go back to the first screen here, we can also start the second user journey, which is the search for the event, which users do much more frequently. So we go to explore, and then we have this long screen also. And how will we do that? We go to the search upcoming events tab, and then we have type in a keyword or select one of these categories. So here we'll select one of the categories, and again we come to the search result followed by a list of filters. So this list is quite long, a lot longer than the group search due to the nature of events. And the new filter that we're proposing is this one here, which is attendees, and this is a list of RSVPs. So that they can choose one of these and then click apply, and then that number is actually based upon this number here. So say they are satisfied and they're wanting to actually go to the event, they just click down here and they can go to the event. So that's the end of the second journey. So I hope I've illustrated both the journeys that we're talking about in this demonstration, and thank you for your time. So wrapping up now, as seen in the previous video, we've got the proposed solution being the 2 filters. The first filter being the last active event filter, and the second filter being the attendees filter. So just a few conclusions reached from this whole journey is that communication and interacting with the community, which in this case is the users, was key, and it's impossible to succeed purely in isolation. I mean, we may have certain ideas or preconceived notions on what is the correct answer, but engaging with the community always helps you understand both the problem and also the solution in this case. Also, frameworks are crucial to help us whittle down the actual answer that we will proceed with. And finally, what we've gone ahead with, these filters help us improve the user experience, and we have proven evidence based on the user feedback that this is the best way to improve the search function for meetup.com. So thank you for your time, and I hope this has been persuasive in demonstrating the best solution to improve Meetup's user experience for the search function.